So my video did drop. Here I am again. So I was saying a lot of anger to get rid of during these placements. Also, we're talking about the rings of Saturn disappearing. We're having some, hey guys, wrap it up, some kind of astrology and collective or whatever you want to believe. It's all the same thing under the same patterns. So just religion and your mind differs. So as we tick back to the beginning of time, I am searching out similarities on the opposite side of the pole through researching religion and tying a lot of different aspects together in the time loop. And then of course you got people who believe in the shadow loop, so it's actually a figure 8, which is also how the different patterns of our planets interact with Earth. There's that double circle pattern in many things, Ophiuchus, the snake, the DNA, and the DNA being altered so that the spiral is different or has different information or different spells and spelling in it. So, yeah. It's put me in this, it's put me all over the place. So having the energy currently. So having these experiences to release anger. Like, what is anger if you're storing it in some place like your eyes? It's through visually seeing and knowing a lot of stuff. And I knew I would have to, infiltrating a cult, see and know a lot of stuff. And before I even met those people, Spirit told me, and I said, yeah. And so I volunteered to my subconsciousness, because we're not, separate. I don't see myself as separate. That's what true non-duality is. It's about yourself. It's not about everything outside of you. That's narcissistic. Comparing yourself to another means you don't know yourself, which the Bible says is not wisdom, which the Gita probably says tons of passages about, but what the Bible did was, for the dumbed down age of Kali, just condensed it. So hate Christianity all you want, but if you're hating Krishna and you're hating, Buddhism, and that religion anyways crushed Hinduism. So it's just like, I don't follow no religion. I follow the facts and their stuff and look back in time. And doing that and using the eye drops has, getting my eyes done, has been huge for letting go of darkness within the eye. Something you cannot see. That's totally the eyeball. How the eyeball holds light or directs light or uses light 100% affects your hormones and hormonal production, because as I've said before, if you watch the water with the sun upon it, water gazing under the sun, which I've been doing on and off, I don't know, probably 7 years, 10 years, not sure which, but recently I found someone explaining the whole thing about how the light spectrum here controls our hormones. And he was actually an eye doctor that got kicked out for knowing this kind of information. So now, it's getting more and more popular to know these things. We wear different colored glasses, but of course that's more on the, the entrepreneurial kind of end of things. And then the doctors, after people are making money off of it, because the health nuts, health gurus, we agree. The health gurus, we agree that this is what's going on, and we notice it. And so then it becomes, oh, they just released this doctor shit they knew about for hundreds of years or more, but they're just releasing it now because they have to, because it's out in the open and they want to make their money off of it. When it's hidden, nobody but them makes money off of it for themselves. So, not saying exactly who they, them is, because it's a huge group of people. If anyone knows, they know. And they think they can control religion by actually dumbing us down so that we have to accept that religion is real, so they continue their loop in their eternal wars. So the Hopi and different Indians talk about this loop, this figure 8, and the X, where it makes the X marks the spot, and certain people disappear, and I've been talking about it, and certain people stay. But I wasn't putting those two stories together really deeply in my mind until my practicing native friend, because I am too, but my practicing friend was discussing it with me, and I said, just this week I saw this person explaining the figure 8 that went around their house, and the house sit in the center, and the house is to me like the X in the center point. And then there was the loop in the front of the house and the loop in the back of the house. And for some reason, just seeing this electronically as a safety mechanism, I just understood. I understood what was going on and what I knew, but I needed it explained within those electrical terms so it could broaden. So this is also what light in the eyeball does to the spectrum of your knowledge or how you think. You know what I'm saying? So it's a real thing. The better your hormones are well adjusted, the happier you're going to be, the more your third eye is going to clear, and the more you're going to experience life at a more rested ease state. You're going to be stronger, smarter, all these things. So dumbing you down, sitting you in offices looking at computers is where the health nuts, or the people who I would say are the health gurus for us here in America, they're all like, nah, this is making us sick and we're figuring stuff out. And this is stuff that's always been. I'm going to take Benjamin Franklin's glasses. He had the spectrometers. Is that what they're called too? Spectrometers? I can't remember. But anyways, he knew about glasses, not just making glasses magnifiers so people could see better, and putting them in glasses instead of like telescopes. But he literally understood the different color spectrums, which all these people that are into all this Masonic and special knowledge and blah, 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 and we only keep it for the best of the best. You know why? Because when you climb to the top of the ladder, you're all freaking vampires and gotta, destroy little children and take little children's innocence. And I don't need to explain to anyone what that means. And if they can't do it to children because, they can't do that, it's too much for them, idiots, then they got to do it to women, because that's how you got to use innocence. That's how you live forever. And so they really love neurodivergent people. And like my ex posted, like, oh, neurodivergent people going to save the earth, because he thinks that's how I identify now. And quite frankly, the whole point of this video was that I don't identify. And when I start to identify because I'm playing games or playing into something or changing the narrative or being creative with my poetry to get rid of stuff, now I'll rather concentrate on my eyes more. And really, I thought about how I haven't kept up with my nighttime scrying, which has nothing to do with me except for seeing my own self, sitting with my own self, which makes hormones. And people talk to you about that with the whole Kundalini thing. Hey, little Robinsies, get out of the road. I don't want to leave the road, didn't want to let me by. Okay, babies, thank you. But anyways, so even if I am not being disciplined enough to do it, take the energy, take the words, take it and the advice and run with it, Give yourself an hour every day in the sunlight if you can on the water, and give yourself an hour every day scrying into a mirror, which is better if the mirror is painted black. I'm not talking about obsidian so that you can do necromancy or ball gazing or whatever. I'm not saying that because I don't want to make it bad and make it into something other than what it is. When your Kundalini raises, when your third eye clears, you're going to see stuff. It's going to be stuff from your past coming out, and stuff from your anger coming out, and people that just offended you in the store, and then you totally even forgot what the people looked like. They didn't matter to you no more. But all that stuff comes before your eye. Who you were in your past lives, when you're scrying on the water during the day, it'll come forth in eyes, all kinds of animal eyes and people eyes, and it's bizarre. But it's just your soul saying, hi, you're you. This is who you are. This is who you've been. This is what you are. You're all in all, above all, through all, in all. And that's a collective thing. That's an impossibility with solipsism. So, you can't convince a predator not to prey, or that they're wrong, because they ain't going to change. And that's not the point of this. But sitting in that space, for me, of non-duality, I have to unhook again, which is great for me, because after going through these eyes being, pupils being overdeveloped and opened, wow, did I let go of a lot of stuff. With this Lilith placement, and I'm not talking about the way people use Lilith now. I'm talking about astrology. And yes, I know archetypes are hooked to the story, but when you use them with astrology, they make sense. Whereas if you use them with Kabbalism and Quabbalism, so you can quabble, and your cabalism, so you can cable people in, that's manipulation. That's whatever. Everything's manipulated here. We share energy. I don't care. Be what you are. The point of the video, right, is I'm going to be me. No qualms. People don't like it, go the F away. You're trying to take something from me when I'm giving to you out of the kindness of my heart, you're going to pay. And you're not going to pay by me going after you. You're not going to pay by me doing anything elaborate. I'm going to do ceremony when I do ceremony. I'm going to dance when I dance. I'm going to throw the dirt off my chest whenever I feel like it. Ain't nobody going to tell me that's wrong. If you made it wrong, good, it'll go back to you, because the bird can fly back to its nest. And that's literally how I view it now. Excuse me, I'm pulling in somewhere. Kind of broke my thought for a sec. But yeah, I think I should end it there. I think the birds can all go roost at home, and people can stop putting shite on people. If not, as the wheel closes out, you're going to be gone, and I'm good with that. I am good with whatever nature in the cycle has to do, and I respect it. And I'm respecting myself, definitely, because I know who I am. So why should I let someone else destroy me? They can destroy themselves. They like it. They should feed on it. I feed on my own energy. You can literally make a loop with your creative lower chakra to do that, which is why people feed on that chakra and don't want it open, because you can feed off of it to create. And to age backwards without harming kids. See, you have to harm kids to live forever if you're that, and you identify that way, and you think you can never be good, because what you think and what you believe, you are, and you perpetrate. So if I'm playing in my shadow trying to find my balance, and you think I'm a perpetrator because you don't like what I'm saying, because, oh, she's not perfect, she don't act righteous, she don't act whatever, I don't care. I'm perfect, holy, righteous, and divine. Why? Because of every little freaking thing I do or don't do or say or don't say? No, that's legalism. I'm not playing into that. How much I fold into my own heart and my own soul and pour into myself is my light. And I've always been light. So I'm not going to let people take away my light with their religion and their laws. I'll look at the religions and I'll get the benefit out of them that I want and need, but I will not hook my belief system to any egregore. If I can help it, I'm here to crush them out. That's how it's going to be. In the end, it's how it is. That's natural order. So actually, I'm aware of it. Thank you.